Hello dear students, this is Prashant Pandey, and in this lecture we will discuss the provisions related to appeal, posting of standing orders, duration and modification of standing orders as provided under the various provisions of Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946. Section 6 of the Act deals with appeal to the appellate authority against the orders of certifying officer. The appeal against the order of certifying officer under Section 5, subsection 2 is made to the appellate authority under Section 6, subsection 1. The appeal against the order of certifying officer may be made by the employer, trade union, or other prescribed representatives of the workman. According to Section 6, subsection 1, the appeal is to be made within 30 days from the date on which the copies of the certified standing orders are sent by the certifying officer to the employer and workman under Section 5, Clause 3 of the Act. On appeal against the order of certifying officer, the appellate authority decides that whether the order of certifying officer should be modified or not. The appellate authority may decide that the standing orders as certified by the certifying officer need no modification. In such case, the appellate authority orders in writing to confirm the standing orders in the form certified by the certifying officer. On the other hand, the appellate authority may decide to modify the standing orders certified by the certifying officer. In such case, the appellate authority may make such modifications or additions as it thinks necessary to render the standing orders certifiable under the Act. The appellate authority in such case orders to confirm the standing orders certified by the certifying officer after making the necessary modifications thereof or additions thereto. Section 6 empowers the appellate authority to confirm the standing orders certified by the certifying officer with or without the modifications only. Section 6 does not empower the appellate authority to set aside the standing orders certified by the certifying officer to consider the matter afresh. So, under the provisions of Section 6, the appellate authority has not been empowered to set aside the decision or the orders made by the certifying officer under Section 5. The only authority which has been provided under Section 6 is to make modifications or alteration into the standing orders against which an appeal has been made by the parties concerned. According to Section 6, the decision of the appellate authority is final when it decides the appeal against the order of the certifying officer. Under Section 6, subsection 2, within 7 days after confirming with or without the modification of the standing orders certified by the certifying officer, the appellate authority sends the copies of its order to the certifying officer, to the employer, to the trade union, or to the other prescribed representatives of the workman. The standing order certified by the certifying officer may be amended by the appellate authority. In such case, the copies of the amended standing orders must accompany the orders of the appellate authority. Standing orders amended by the appellate authority are certified and authenticated by the appellate authority in the prescribed manner. Now, the date of operation of standing orders. Section 6 of the Act provides for two criteria for the date of operation of standing orders. First is, if no appeal is preferred against the order of certifying official. If an appeal has not been made against the orders which has been given by the certifying official under section 5, no appeal has been made under section 6, then in that situation the standing orders come into operation on the expiry of 30 days when the orders by the certifying official was given. The expiry of 30 days is from the date on which the certifying official sends the copies of the standing orders from after certification to the employer and to the representative of workmen under section 5 subsection 3. The second criteria is if an appeal is preferred against the order of the certifying officer under section 6. So, section 7 in that situation provides that the standing orders will come into operation on the expiry of 7 days. The expiry of 7 days is from the date on which the appellate authority sends the copies of its order to the certifying officer, employer, and to the prescribed representatives of the workmen under section 6 subsection 2. Moving further, section 10 deals with the modification of certified standing orders. Standing orders finally certified under this Act shall not, except on agreement between the employer and the workman, or a trade union or other representative body of the workmen, be liable to modification until the expiry of 6 months from the date on which the standing orders or the last modification thereof came into operation. So, according to the provisions of section 10, a modification of a certified standing orders within 6 months of its coming to operation is permissible only on an agreement between the employer and his workmen. Otherwise, section 10 provides for a restriction on the modification of standing orders in general sense within the period of 6 months when the standing orders came into operation, or within 6 months from the last modification thereof came into operation. So, section 10 provides for the modification of standing orders in two circumstances. First is modification of standing orders within 6 months of coming into operation and after 6 months of coming into operation. Now the conditions for the modification, when, under what circumstances any modification into the standing orders can be made. So in this regard, section 10 itself does not prescribe any conditions to be satisfied for making an application to modify the certified standing orders. Under section 10 or anywhere under the Act, no criteria or no circumstances has been provided for the modification of the standing orders. It was in the case of SS Railway Company versus Workers Union, the Supreme Court observed that an application for modification of certified standing orders may be made under the following circumstances, where A change of circumstances has occurred.